again, with keeping it to the start of the episode, it's really focusing on those first 5 minutes, because people will bounce after they've listened to a little, unless you're compelling and you're laying out what you want. So sweating that no fluff, like keep it completely fluff free.
Welcome to the 4 a.m. Report. Let's face it, we all have to market. Large or little, it's harder than ever to stand out in a cluttered space of one-size-fits-all and copycat marketing moves. Welcome to the 4 a.m. Report, a micro-podcast that brings you valuable conversations with people on the marketing dilemmas keeping them up at night. Here are your hosts, contrarian marketers and creative clutter cutters, Susan Diaz and Will Lamont.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 4 a.m. Report. Today, we're continuing to talk about podcasting. So if you're thinking of podcasting or you already have a podcast and you want to take it to the next level, we're going to give you some tactical advice today. What we're calling this episode the Holy Trinity of Hooking. Basically, by hooking, we don't mean prostitution. We do mean by getting people hooked on your podcast. So the Holy Trinity of getting people hooked on your podcast, but because we're childish and mature, we're saying the Holy Trinity of hooking. Susan, over to you to continue to set the stage here.
Yeah, hooking, Holy Trinity of Hooking has like a soundbite quality to it, and it's memorable. So we're suckers for that sort of thing. So really, we're going to dive a little bit into 3 key areas today. The first of them is how to up the visual, and we'll go into that in detail. But a lot of the time, visual is a highly underrated part of a podcast, and how do you sort of bring that to the front and take it beyond audio into other medium. The second one is rethinking your intro. Like long, self-indulgent, canned intros are probably over. And what can you do in its place to keep people with you and, bring it to a short, focused intro. And then the third one is focusing on the first 5 minutes of content in your podcast and how you can ditch the fluff. The first 5 minutes is when people really want to know what's going on, and how can you take it beyond that. So should we dive into the visual, Will?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, podcast is an audio medium, but you've got to think outside that audio box, so to speak. And again, to use another trite saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, people react visually on social media these days. So in addition to what you're writing, the social copy that's going to draw people in, you really should sweat the visuals. This is your opportunity to express the tone, the voice, even give them some insight into what they can expect. Plus, pretty pictures always work, Susan. So why don't you just illustrate this point, Susan, by talking about how we handled that at first when we launched the podcast and the success we got just from the pictures alone?
Yeah. 100%. I think, branding at one time was considered like the colors of your brand and the fonts that you used and whatever. But as we go into this sort of digital publishing world, we've got to think about how the medium needs it presented. So at the very least, you want to be thinking about, a cover image for your podcast. And we'll go into some detail. We have another episode coming up next week where we're going to break down the specifics of the visual. But you really want to be thinking beyond just like a cover. You've got the cover, but remember, as you put out the podcast, if you're like, here's my episode, go listen to it, people develop a level of blind spot sort of thing to it, right? So in order to make that a little bit more easy to distribute, we use a suite of images. We obviously are marketers, and we take it quite far. We invest in different seasons and a different look and feel. And we've done a Black Mirror themed thing of what might happen at 4 a.m. We've done us in our pajamas. We've done all of the pandemic documentation. So that's our sort of tone of voice and how we bring it in. But from a purely tactical perspective, you definitely want to be thinking about each week as you release your podcast, you want at least one new image. So think about it on Instagram, for example, where it's a grid. If you went back and put your podcast cover image every time you released a new episode, your grid would look the exact same, right? So you want to really be thinking about that and, having a suite of images. So it's really worth looking at what your budget is for visual. It can be anything. It can be stock images. It can be illustrations. It can be lots of the Canva material that's available for free for many people. But you do need to think of numbers. Would you say, Will?
Yeah, and I do. For us, we every 20 or 30 episodes or so, we book a session with our beloved photographer, Melissa Trainer. Shout out to Melissa if you're listening.
Yay,
and
Melissa.
we plan out what the theme of the next 20, 30 episodes are going to be. And then we work with Melissa to do it's almost a DIY type photo shoot. We don't invest a ton of time and money into it. We kind of just go with our gut. We work with Melissa. We gather props. We kind of craft up some scenarios and that sort of thing. And then those are the images that we rotate through for the next cycle. And I really like that because I think the images tell a story of where we're at, what we're thinking. They always express kind of our personality by like, we'll go there, we'll make a joke. But I think also the fact that we commit to doing these regular switch up of images does show that we're very committed to the podcasting medium as well.
Mm-hmm. So many people in the beginning would often be like, "Oh, you, I know you from somewhere. You're the person from that podcast with the under eye patches or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, this is like a D-list celebrity. Like people know you from the image before they know you from actually the material, right?" So I don't think we should dismiss that, and using that and trying to dive into it is a good idea. The second point then, Will, is rethinking your canned intro. So at one point, I know it was a way for us to display our wealth and our abilities as a brand to have these fancy produced, things up front. But like, I feel like that time has passed. And right now, people really want to focus very, very heavily. And I can say, and I don't know if this is the same for you, I can say I just skip the intro for everyone anyway. So like, and I deeply appreciate the people who keep it to 15 seconds so that when I skip it, it's right at the beginning. So really thinking about that.
Yeah, I agree too. I do think so. We talked about that cover art. Now we're talking about the intro. To me, this really sets the stage of the promise that you and your podcast are going to deliver. So like Susan said, now the podcast I listen to, I do skip that intro as well. But for first-time listeners, this is your chance to impress upon them who you are, what your podcast is about, and what you're promising to deliver or why they should listen, right? Like Susan said, short is better these days. Some people just start with some music and start talking and they'll be like, "Hey, welcome back. It's Will and Susan." They don't even have that canned intro. If you do have that canned intro, like Susan said, keep it short, tight, 15 seconds, those 3 points, who you are, what you're about, and what you're going to deliver. The other thing though, that works, a lot of people use it. It still works, I think. Another way to forego that long-winded intro is give a cool clip from the episode right up front. Cut out something that's controversial or a great takeaway, something funny, even a blooper, just something to give them an idea for the tone or the information that's to come. Something else I was hearing that a lot of people do this. We don't really do this, but some people like to pose a question at the beginning. So some kind of question, existential or if it's a marketing podcast, some kind of marketing question. So the listener will want to listen to hear what the answer is to that question. That's a really simple, cheap way to start off a podcast too.
I like that. And the third point then, folks, is again, with keeping it to the start of the episode, it's really focusing on those first 5 minutes, because people will bounce after they've listened to a little, unless you're compelling and you're laying out what you want. So sweating that no fluff, like keep it completely fluff free. I think we've all suffered from it. I think we still do sometimes, where we're like, "Oh, how was your day? And what did you have this morning?" And your cat or chicken or whatever it is that you're chatting about. There's room for that, I think, in longer form podcasts, but maybe a little bit later, like get people what they're looking for up front and then weave all of that into your storytelling as you go, if you have longer forms. But really, I think having I love that framework that you laid out, Will, which is what, who, what, about, and why you listen. And then if you can pull off you're about to learn the following 3 things, kind of think of it like a lesson if you were taking a course or whatever, where it's like, in this session we will cover, and you lay it all out, and then you cover the things that you say you will cover. And then in the best cases, at the end, you need a little summary of so just to recap, we covered this, and this. So that's the ideal way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think too, really knowing who your audience is and almost imagining that you really understand their listening habits and going down that rabbit hole, right? So if you like to lead with humor and entertainment while you educate, then, don't try to plan for someone who's not like you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we lean into the humor, we lean into being a little edgy at times while still hoping to inform. And so I think everything we talked about, our artwork, our intro, the way we start the show, I think is a combination of that, because that's kind of, we want like-minded people in our world, and that's kind of our beacon of calling out to them. So
it's true. I love it. So that's the holy trinity of hooking, folks. Really like up your visual. So far, this is sounding dreadful. Up your visual.
Right? Up your visual. Polish. Yeah, anyways, whatever. I'm not going to say anything.
Dreadful. Okay. Up your visual. Number 2, rethink that intro, the canned intro, keep it short and focused, and your framework of who is this for, what's it about, and why listen. And then the third part is, focusing on taking out all fluff from the first 5 minutes and giving people like a real look into what they're about to hear in the episode.
Susan, maybe we should do an episode. We just talked about that intro, the holy trinity of getting them hooked. We should maybe do something about that the takeaways and the call to actions and things like that. Maybe we'll do a little episode on that next, folks.
The holy trinity of exit plans.
Yeah, whatever. We'll work on that. Okay. Bye, everybody.
We'll work on that. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're losing sleep over a marketing-related problem, let us know. Drop us a line at cp.digital. Sweet dreams. Well, hopefully.